start proceedings here in just under 20 seconds. She's, of course, flanked by Nomura and Nakayama as we kick the weekend off in style. Nerves and fever pitch has been reached out there, tension at an all-time high.
Players and referees ready.
The whistle about to go. What can the Japanese Blossoms do with their first set here? So important, of course, to get a good start. And they're going to work their way up the field. See what they can do on these early strike plays. 4 years since Trans-Tasman touch, or even a little bit longer since Trans-Tasman. They're going to dish the ball wide early. The ball goes to ground. Neither team really well versed in each of the players on the other side of the pitch. It has been a long time. Nicholas with the ball up the middle of the field now. They're going to work their way to the box. Driving run there from the number 6 from dummy half. It's Chiatani. He's caught from dummy half and the ball's changed over. So the Australians now will get their second real shot. They're going to want to hold on to the ball for the full set here. A nice little dish back on the inside there to Price. And they'll get a strike dump at the end of this set here. Let's see what they can concoct. Back on the inside. It'll be Bartz with the number 16, Ashby. Playing the ball, comes round to the left, they go long. The ball is out to the number 1, Steph Maiolo, and that is far from her first try at the international level.
Yeah, good experience, like you said, Maiolo finishing that one off. Tim Bart's having a good handle on that as well, but Japan did pretty well in the lead up to the last ends up touching. They forced Australia back. The space just opened up for them on the left-hand side, but they came off a really good defensive set. From
foot in the ruck, wasn't to be. 50-50 call there going against the Japan Blossoms. Australia will get the ball 10 out from the line. You've got to expect that they're going to look dangerous here. The Emus, not moving forward that time, the Blossoms. So got to get up off their line, but not a bad penalty to give away at this point. The Australians already had a full set on the line. Yeah,
it just gives them just that chance. They're defending down there anyway just to get themselves an extra breath as Australia back onto the attack, and they will get points. Jaden Ashby, ball in one hand, gets his first international try on debut here in the mixed open as well. And the Aussies, they go 2 up.
Australia.
Well done, Ashby, and I'm sure that won't be his last international try by any stretch of the imagination. It's great to see this. Well, we would normally say sort of a younger crop of players coming through, but of course with such though is the number 3, and Sakita again. He's been in everything so far, but Yuhi as well, picking up from half and looking pretty dangerous to find those numbers. Well, Australia will get the ball as it goes to ground, and they're going to look for some fresh legs here. That's a good driving run. That extra pass played out to Price, running the ball up the middle now. Searle as well had a great time at the National Touch League, of course, did Searle. Got a pretty good long ball on him too, which will come in real handy in this mixed competition. On the line now, 7 metres. They're going to go long again, and look who it is out wide. None other than Steph Maiolo for her second of the match, and they did well to find the numbers there.
Yeah, well, that's coming up the goods for them, isn't it? And finding space down that left-hand side, like you said. Second try for Steph Maiolo. Osborne putting it on a platter that time around. And the Australians dangerous down that end of the field, and they come up with a couple of mistakes. Mills before, again, off the at the start of the match on their first possession. But when they do get down there and they transition nicely, they're finishing it off with points.
Absolutely right, and the Japanese Blossoms very nearly found their way through a hole there. They're 4-on-3 on the left-hand side. Just ran out of space at the death there. It's Nomura who almost squeezed his way through. And quite a tall player, actually, Nomura, as well, to be able to find the space through the hole there. And that's a nice right-to-left ball.
Oh, yes.
Found their way through. And the refs call all clear. It's a touchdown for the Blossoms. Fantastic try.
Oh, wow. Naoki Nomura, you caught him, Jack. That was unreal setup from him, though. The footwork had him a couple of times. So got him to bite on the previous play, which got the Aussies on the back foot. Got it down, but the finish on the end of that was amazing. Had some work to do. Left foot one-on-one battle. Gets on the end. They're set in a really good position here, Jack. First touch, and they'll be over the halfway line. They put the ball through their hands to be able to get some changes on.
Nicholas to Maiolo, Ward, Price playing the ball there. Back is Potts. Jess Potts, of course, we saw starring for the Hornets at NTLs. They're going to go to the right, maybe come back to the left. No, they're going to have a crack down the centre of the park. Could be 6 more. Yes, 6 more is the call. And there's that space on the left-hand side. Mayolo has the touch been made. The referees call all clear. And Mayolo with a hat-trick of tries to kick off her mixed campaign.
Yeah, it was a good expensive play there for the Australians. They just got the Japanese Blossoms on the back foot. It was good positive play from them to continue on. Early in the touchdown, they still had some touches up their sleeve. But again, every try has come down that left-hand side.
The Japanese Blossoms, and their fallen comrade, who is now being, of course, treated by the medical staff. They're going to want to get in here for him because he was looking pretty energetic out there on the pitch. They want to match that energy, and couldn't make it work at the end of that set.
Oh, it's forward.
So, yeah, potential forward pass there, caught in the ruck. Good driving set. That's a captain's run out in the middle from Bartz. He makes about 10 extra metres on that play. They're coming back towards the centre of the park now, and it's Langbridge who wants the ball from half, but instead they find numbers on the right-hand side. Abby Good placing the ball down over the try line with no one in sight. That's a great box play, opening up the space on the right there.
Oh, poor Abby standing out here on the right-hand side. Hasn't seen much football so far. They finally do come out to the right-hand side and eventuate some points for them. So a little bit of a change-up in the point of attack there for the Australians.
Way play here from half. Oh, the fake.
Yeah.
He almost worked his way around winger Abby Good there, but she made sure that she closed down the line, and yeah, he runs the ball out of play there, the number 2 for Japan. So the Australian Emus, can they do anything at the back end of this half? They put on yet another try and almost sealed the deal before half-time. They'll be looking to get their structures in order and, of course, finish their set after not being able to last set. Back on the inside. That is a classic play. Nice line run on the inside. The final ball played by Jaden Ashby. And, yeah, they'll be running that play all day.
Yeah, nicely set up there from the Australians. And the skipper, Tim Bartz, getting a try to his name. When you see the replay, you'll see the line that he runs. Looks to sweep around the back and then comes back in on the inside line. Just open up through the midfield match against New Zealand later on this afternoon. This is a good opportunity for them, Jack, just to try and get some of the things that they've been working on in training down and pat out on the field, and then take that into the big match against New Zealand later on this afternoon.
Should be an exciting half nonetheless. It's going to be Jackson Mills tapping off here, and Nicholas will pick up and dish to Hedgedus. Nicholas is playing the half role here as Langbridge plays the ball up through the middle. It's Mills with the ball. They've gone straight back on the inside, and that little pod there with Mills, Langbridge, and Hedgedus actually get the job done. Just some nice passing play, pretty simple stuff.
Yeah, lovely little tap play from the Australian Emus to start the second half. It was lovely soft hands from Mills, linking back on the inside. Little short ball, but they had space to go out the back as well. So they're the really good plays where you do actually have options.
He blows it with a lot of oomph there, which implies that he really wants those Emus to get back on side. He's not going to take much more of this.
Yeah, Tyler Wood getting camped on the line on that occasion. He was trying to point to the referee to say that he was back or moving forward. They attack Wood again. Good inside coverage, though, from Andrew Searle. Having to make the middles work here, Searle and Tyler Wood.
Nikita, the ball in hands. Work with Yamada. Yamada with the ball. He goes for the line. The ball looks as though it's being grounded.
Oh, yeah.
And that is a nice try. Evasive action from the number 9. Shoji Yamada. Brilliant work. And his work there, of course, with Nikita, who's been one of the chief playmakers here for the Blossoms.
Footwork is really good, some of these Japanese players. And that was just a one-on-one battle as the Aussies were retrieving back to the line. A little bit of footwork off the left.
Who's been one of the chief playmakers here for the Blossoms.
Footwork is really good, some of these Japanese players. And that was just a one-on-one battle as the Aussies were retrieving back to the line. A little bit of footwork off the left. And the Australian cover defence couldn't get there in time. Again, great try. We saw a good one in the first half like we touched on going into the half-time break. But their first try here in the second was a ripper as well.
Blossoms team here have a really good mix of pace, And, agility as well. And just as I say that, a bit of commentator's curse. Couldn't quite make the defence work there. Nice little try there for the Emus. The space was just opening up all over the park. It felt like they could have scored through a few different holes there. Osborne is the man that they found. And they go over for yet another try. Yeah, Luke Osborne had all the time in the world to roll over and slam that one down. And even if it was outside in defence, it would have just been an outside pass. Peter plays the ball. Yamada. And just the ball takes a bobble there. Wasn't the greatest set, unfortunately, for the Blossoms. You can see they started around the halfway line. They only just progressed just on the other side of the 10. So still had a little bit of work, 35 minutes to get down towards the attacking zone of the field. They needed to get their running game back going and take that positive momentum going into the line. Searle, Nicholas. Searle goes long. They're looking for players out on the left-hand side. It's Price. It looks like the ball has been grounded. Looked like a tight one in defence. They seemed to do the right thing in defence, but just couldn't stretch out and make that touch on Price. He's dangerous. He's pretty quick. Yeah, you can see Price getting over. They just used the ball work. It was a nice ball. It was an early ball as well. Tyler could have probably run with it a little bit more, but the nice zipping pass on the outside to Price. He was already on the outside shoulder of his defender, so they had too much work. Now, that's a lovely ball. He sort of held it up to the last second, but Nicholas read the ball really well, and it's a changeover. Yeah, good defence from Zara. Had to come in to make the touch, but positive play off the restart from Japan. If you don't come up with points, that's probably the next best set, where you're at least letting the ball work do. You go through your full 6 sets of touches, but the next important thing is they got to transition from an attacking mindset to defence. This is a big defensive set here for them. Can they hold out? Going through from half, it looks like they can't hold out this time. The dummy half run there from the Emus just too strong, and they weren't able to shut down those players running in support. So Tim Bartz notches his second try of the match on debut, of course, so debut tries for this new mixed captain. He's doing a fine job so far, but we'll look to sort of go knock for knock here in the second half. Yeah, and that might be a message that comes out of their box. We were just talking about in the halftime break, Jake, how high-scoring mixed touch football is, and we'll see that when Australia and New Zealand come up against each other later on. So this has been the period where Japan have scored their 2 tries in this second half. Australia hit them straight back. And it's an important thing, obviously from a defensive point of view. After you score, you want to hold out. But for Australia to hit back, that just, it just gets them in that sort of mixed mindset about having a bit of a shootout, particularly after leaking points. And so far in the second half, points have been split reasonably equally. Fifth and last will be a static touch, but again, the Blossoms have done well to get the ball up to the end here, and they couldn't quite get to half there, so can't do anything with the end of the set. Not a bad result. It's going to be Mills driving the ball up now. Yeah, and that might be a message that comes out of their box. We were just talking about in the halftime break, Jake, how high-scoring mixed touch football is, and we'll see that when Australia and New Zealand come up against each other later on. So this has been the period where Japan have scored their 2 tries in this second half. Australia hit them straight back. And it's an important thing, obviously from a defensive point of view. After you score, you want to hold out. But for Australia to hit back, that just, it just gets them in that sort of mixed mindset about having a bit of a shootout, particularly after leaking points. And so far in the second half, points have been split reasonably equally. Fifth and last will be a static touch, but again, the Blossoms have done well to get the ball up to the end here, and they couldn't quite get to half there, so can't do anything with the end of the set. Not a bad result. It's going to be Mills driving the ball up now, playing the ball for done well to get the ball up to the end here, and they couldn't quite get to half there, so can't do anything with the end of the set. Not a bad result. It's going to be Mills driving the ball up now, playing the ball for Good. Langbridge now with the ball, so a lot of quick legs out there for the Emus. Many of these players actually known for their running game, which is so important in mixed touch. And the number 12 here, Potts, in the link position, working there with Searle. Potts is going to pick up Searle with the ball to the number 4, and a diving try there. It is the number 4, Tyler Ward, who, Superman's over for his try there. Classy finish from Tyler, but again, when you see the replay,
the Australians, and they've done it a couple of times. They're just getting that early release, getting on the outside shoulder of the Japanese defence. It's so hard to turn and chase. A lot of the times you don't need to do the running yourself and let the...
Looks like a two-pass play there. Sweeper out the back. Will they look for that extra pass? Not on this occasion. Potts decides to play it safe, which I think is a wise choice. Just looking to settle things down here. And Osborne with a barnstorming run through the centre of the park there. They might look to find him again. They do.
Oh.
And that is a brilliant ball away. I think it's tapped on from the hand of the Blossoms player there. Blossoms defender. A bit unlucky, actually.
Well, yeah, he had a bit of work to do there, Luke Osborne, in the end. It was Ashby that went through from half. But like you said, Jack, there was a little deflection. So Osborne was already going down, looking for a clean ball. Had to readjust as the deflection came off the Japanese defence. So, yeah, plenty of work to do. Had a good finish there. Ashby and Osborne connecting up for the try.
Well, the Blossoms will do their best. Will do their best to get their strike players out there now. And I can't help but note that Yuhi Ikeda and, of course, Nomura, three of the players out there in the middle. Or Shiatani at the moment, actually. So they'll be trying to get up in defence here. They'd probably like to jag one or two more tries here, the Blossoms. But for now, defence is the name of the game. Mills with the ball. This is a dangerous situation. The Emus love this kind of attacking space. And all clear is the call. A forward pass.
Yeah, just the last pass going forward from the hands of Jimmy Hegedus. But yeah, they're in 6s and 7s there. Japan in defence. Mistake as well. The Australians smell blood on the water. Maiolo
and
plays the ball, and there's plenty of space on the right-hand side.
Still trying to get a forward pass.
Yeah, just the last pass going forward from the hands of Jimmy Hegedus. But yeah, they're in 6s and 7s there. Japan in defence. Mistake as well. The Australians smell blood on the water. Maiolo
and
plays the ball, and there's plenty of space on the right-hand side.
Still trying to get their substitutes done here. Mills likes the look of that space. Langbridge as well. Will they look for the out ball to Mills? Yes, they will. Back on the inside to the number 14, Hegedus. And they've just gotten over there, the defence, with the right idea, but not quick enough to shut that link hole down. And it's going to be Potts who scores the try there.
Yeah, it was just a little pump from Langbridge there that just held the defence off, and it was a nice little inside line from Potts. Sneaks over to get more points here for Australia. For sure.
Time dwindling now on the match clock. A touch pass will be the call. Little panic pass there by the number 5, Suzuki. And Mills will be charging up the sideline there. That's the kind of player that you want running onto the ball at the start of a set. Nicholas will play the ball. Good from half. Searle, Nicholas wants to pick up here. And Searle's going to look at his options, just slowing things down here. I like this, just changing up the pace of the play, keeping them on their toes. And yeah, it's going to be Price that goes over for another try. Just found that space on the left-hand side. Searle's decision to slow the play down there, just play heads-up footy and just look at where the holes are opening up.
Yeah, it always looks like he's got all the time in the world when he's got ball in hand, particularly when he's setting up to go from half. Again, early release from Andrew Searle.
At the start of this weekend, good defence there from the Emus. They're very compressed through the centre of the park, so if you're the Blossoms right now, you need to be looking for those longer options. Osborne will pick up from half. They're going to cross the halfway line pretty quickly here, probably by the third touch. Mills is going to make that happen. Mikolopoulos brings the ball back towards the centre, and it's the number 14, Hegedus, who's had a busy game thus far, and he's going to go over for another try for the Emus. Yeah, and Hegedus has probably sort of been understated by us. Scott up here in the commentary box, he's sort of been quietly working away at this game.
Yeah, he's definitely injected himself into the second half. Amazing last couple of years Jimmy's had. Talking to one of the officials within the Australian